I'm in the holding area for the 3A race in the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship. Sam Smith, once again, on pole position. He's looking to make it 3 out of 3 this weekend. But John Langridge, in second place, really wants to move up and get that top step on the podium. It's raining. The wet conditions out on track are going to make this really challenging. It's over to our commentary team to take you through the race.
The wettest race of the weekend for the A group then, as we go through the grid. Sam Smith and John Langridge again on the front row. Ollie Allwood and Will Blackwell-Chambers there on the second row from Brian Trotton and Adam Bessel. Jason Greatrex and Charlie Burge on row 4. Rounding out the top 10, it's Marcus Bailey and Martin Tolley. Sebastian Fisher and Simon Orange, then Scott Leach and Teddy Clark, Jack Moody and Paul Tucker, then it's Ben Hansey, Lewis Cannon, Clive Poles, Andrew McGregor, Chris Stapleton and Paul Bateman. And it's the latter 5 that made it through from the second B group race. And those 5 have experience of racing this circuit this weekend in these conditions. The other 17 do not. So they're going to be, those 5 at the back, at a slight advantage in the early stages of the race. Here we go. Now, Sam Smith has made 2 perfect starts. He's going to make 3 as he continues to lead through the first corner. And is that Blackwell-Chambers getting through on the inside of John Langridge? No, it is not. It was initially, but Langridge is not going to make that kind of mistake and let him through as Brian Trott goes very deep into the banking, tries to come right round the outside of Bessel and then tucks back in behind him. So what has happened to Oliver Allwood? Are we behind Allwood at this point, or has Allwood dropped back quite a considerable way as Jason Greatrex gets a move on the inside of Brian Trott through Church? Yes, Allwood's had a terrible start, unfortunately. He's there behind Brian Trott now, trying to hold on in front of Charlie Burge. So Smith leads, Langridge, Blackwell-Chambers. Then it is Bessel in 4th position after a cracking start ahead of Brian Trott and Oliver Allwood as the field, look at the spray. Faster drivers in the A group, and that means more spray to kick up, especially in wetter conditions. Simon Orange going to war with Sebastian Fisher. Teddy Clark side by side with Martin Tolley and Paul Tucker. Ben Hansey in the mix there as well as they come through Rocket. They come back off the hairpin, back up the hill. Up towards Peel once again. Paul Tucker moving to cover up the inside of Martin Tolley. Tolley's there on the inside of Clark. It's getting messy. It's getting messy as they come through Peel. No problem at all. Sam Smith in front of Langridge and Blackwell-Chambers, the 3 fastest drivers of the weekend, you could well argue. And these 3 continuing to battle around the circuit in gusto. Well, Will Blackwell-Chambers, having started the weekend on the front row of the grid, is going to be very sick to his stomach that so far this weekend he has not actually been able to get a podium finish, while his main rival for the championship, Sam Smith, has made it 2 wins out of 2. And look, Smith and Langridge are already checking out in front. They are disappearing as Smith goes very deep into the banking, but that's because the wetter line is actually off the racing line, where all that surface rubber has obviously been cemented into the tarmac. So it's going to be much tougher for the drivers to get the grip they want initially through these first few laps. They've got to trust the confidence they've got in the car, the knowledge they have what this car can do in the wet weather conditions, and hope that it's enough to hang on in there as Langridge tries to make the sweep up the inside of Sam Smith through the long back straight. Decides against it, tucks back in. We're on board with Langridge. Down into the braking zone for Rocket. Through the left. Up on the curbs, making a window, making a door. Langridge could get the run on the inside of Smith. Just a little bit of a twitch on the way through the apex. It's very easy to get that car sideways on the slowest corner on the circuit in these wet conditions. Up through Peel. Watch. Can you see the sea? Not really. The difficulty is in these conditions, it's so misty and foggy, you can't even really make out the difference between the sea and the sky in these conditions, as the rain is absolutely pelting down now. Definitely harder than it's been all weekend for the Mazda MX-5s at this stage. As they come through the final turn, John Langridge putting a lot of pressure on Sam Smith, but Smith has won 2 out of 2 thus far, and he'll want to make it a hat-trick. Blackwell-Chambers 3rd, 4th is Bessel, 5th there is Jason Greatrex, having a good run in front of Brian Trott and Ollie Allwood. Here comes Langridge up the inside for the lead on Smith. Smith goes deeper, Langridge sticks to the conventional line, tucks back in. So John Langridge definitely giving pressure to Sam Smith. He's finished second twice, John Langridge. He doesn't want to finish second 3 times. But Sam Smith wants the hat-trick of victories. Blackwell-Chambers is just sat back in 3rd position, allowing these 2 to scrap, but making sure he's still in contention. Down the back straight. Windscreen wipers flapping about like crazy. Still they push very hard as they go up through the left flick, up through the right flick, sorry, and into the left-hander. As again, Language is going to make the push for Sam Smith. No contact, but there very nearly was a push for Sam Smith. They come through the hairpin. A bit of a wobble, bit of a twitch, and John Language manages to get the back end of the car stepped out in behind Sam Smith. And they go through Peel. Oh, they're all a little bit wayward, but Will Blackwell-Chambers gaining the most ground as the two leaders go very sideways through the right-hander, dropping down the crest and up towards Siemens. Turn left, keep the car nicely planted, balanced on the brakes. But we've seen how John Language has overtaken at this point before. He's going to use the same trick round the outside of the bus stop. And then for the inside line of the final turn, Smith's not going to give him a lot of room and shuts the door. Oh, I thought Language was going to make magic, strike in the same place twice. I would have said lightning, but Language is a little bit smoother than that. He's a magician at the wheel. Down to the hairpin once again. Into that tight right-hander in the banking. Trying to get that inside line for the curbs. Now, this is the battle further back. We've got Bessel, Greatrex, Trott and Allwood scrapping away for 4th position while trying to catch them all. That looks like Charlie Burge still in there in 8th position as Allwood gets a run on Brian Trott into Church. He's got a break. There's no way you're going to get on the inside line of there and hope that the two cars will drift around as Trott goes a little bit deep. That's enough of an invitation for Allwood. He gets through. That's nicely done. Good execution, good run. So now let's see what Allwood and Trott can do as they battle away together. Up the hill. And let's see if there's going to be any more shenanigans between these two. Oh, hello. That was a bit cheeky from Brian Trott on the back of Oliver Allwood. He suddenly realised what was going to happen and he's back out of the throttle. Just a little love tap. Nothing more. Buy me dinner later. Down to Peel once again. Through the right-hander. And a very, very strong run on the back of Callum Greatrex. Blackwell-Chambers has got on the inside of John Language for 2nd position. Language is going to try and hold it to the outside of the bus stop. There's enough grip. He chucks it back up the inside, defends to the inside of the final turn and keeps 2nd place. John Language, absolutely valiant to keep in 2nd place there. That was really tough stuff from Will Blackwell-Chambers in 3rd place, having to work incredibly hard. Now Allwood's going up the inside of Jason Greatrex. Let's see if he grabs doors. Well, Greatrex shuts the door nicely, and now Brian Trott could get in round the outside of the banking if Allwood's going to go deep. Trott's going to stay to the outside. There's enough grip in the wet to keep the car flowing all the way round. Tucks back in the line behind Allwood. So Bessel in 4th place is actually having a fairly easy time of it here in P4. Oh, and a spin further back. Now that is, oh, that's the 23, that's Tolley. Martin Tolley has dropped it at the banking. Now, I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but he's had a bit of an off, and unfortunately, that is definitely going to curtail his afternoon's work. Smith, Language, Blackwell-Chambers, duking it out for the lead. Oh, and another spin! That is Clive Poles. Clive Poles, who won the B race in the 2nd race of the weekend for them. Unfortunately, a spin for Clive Poles at Church. So the tricky conditions really starting to catch the opponents out now. Drivers battling away against the elements as Hansey tries to get on the inside of Simon Orange. The back end steps out big time and Hansey catches it before he goes for a spin. So Simon Orange, the winner of the 1st B Group race of the weekend. Clive Poles the 2nd. So good to see both of the B Group race winners over the course of this weekend thus far remaining in the A Group. So Simon Orange goes for the move to defend Hansey. Hansey still commits. But Orange has got enough space around the outside, and I think there could be a move up the inside there from the 43 of Lewis Cannon. So I apologise, Poles was 2nd in the earlier race. It's Cannon who got the victory, but he is still there and having a great battle. So much has happened in this race, I apologise. I can't believe I said that Poles won that earlier B race. It was, of course, a victory for Lewis Cannon. Worth a good race, that one, actually. Good battle between those two. Bessel in 4th, but this quartet is the one we're focusing on. Greatrex, Allwood, Trott, Burge. And it is very close indeed as they go through Church. Are they all going to nick through on the racing line? Yes, they are. They're all in a cavalcade. Charge, Avante, up to the braking zone for Rocket. Trott's going to pop out to the left side. Allwood's not going to leave him a massive amount of room. In fact, he's going to move across to cover in the same breath as Greatrex does the same thing. So a very conservative bit of driving. Very easy going from Greatrex in 5th place. Just making that Mazda slightly wider than it needs to be, but enough to keep the battle on as Allwood gets a bit of momentum. He's still there alongside Greatrex. This will be enough for Allwood. Absolutely perfect. He gets through. The door's still open. Trott's going to try and get there as well. Greatrex will shut the door. Don't even think about passing me, Brian. And Greatrex holds on to the place. Nicely done. Great tussling between these two as they drop down to the bus stop once again. Bit of a snaky under-brakey moment into the final turn. And Allwood is 5th. Greatrex 6th. Trott 7th, and in 8th is Burge. Now Trott's going to make his bid to get up the inside for 6th position. Meanwhile, further up the road, Langridge has caught Sam Smith, and he's going to make an attempt for the lead in the banking. Smith is going to go out wide, but again, he moves the cover just in the nick of time. We're on board with Langridge. Let's listen as we ride on board. Up through the gears, and interestingly in the wet, a little bit of a touch of the brakes. Langridge tried not to. Did you see that? Langridge tried to carry the speed, and the wheel got away from him there. That's brave from Langridge, but he manages to save it. The car drifted out a tad further back. That's still Bessel in 4th position. Allwood 5th, 6th and 7th. It is these two tussling away for position. Greatrex versus Trott, side by side. Not a lot of room. Brian Trott getting his elbows out and gets past Greatrex. And now joining the battle, that looks like Teddy Clark. Teddy Clark trying to come around the outside of Burge. And I think he got there on the way to Peel. On the way to Rocket, sorry. Did he get there? That is Teddy Clark. He's through. My goodness, Teddy Clark. Absolutely brilliant move there into Rocket. And they come up to Peel. And still, he is keeping things fairly ship-shape and Bristol fashion at the moment. Some great driving as they continue to work their magic. But this is turning into quite a rout at the moment for Teddy Clark. A good comeback drive in the wet conditions. But he does love racing in the wet. He's got a bit of a thing about it. So here at Anglesey, he's in comfort zone at the moment. Not many of the other drivers would say that this is their comfort zone, but they're doing the best they can and making quite a race of it. He's up the inside. Clark, that's a very late lunge to get on the inside of Greatrex. He's keeping it there. Has to hang back eventually. And now Charlie Burge is going to go to his left. But Teddy Clark's going to move to cover as they come into the banking once again. So much going on in this third and final race. The wet has definitely opened things up, and it's a much more even competition as everybody is in the same boat. Oh, that's an off for Fisher. Sebastian Fisher overshoots at the banking and goes grass tracking, and he's not going to keep that facing the right way. Oh dear. Oh, Sebastian. Well, he tried his best, but unfortunately onto the grass, and he pirouetted around, looking very Swan Lake, if I may say so myself. Meanwhile, the leaders very close together. Up the inside, Langridge trying to get the move out of Rocket. This could be an opportunity up to Peel on Sam Smith. Hold your breath. He's going to dive for it. Smith's going to cut across. Langridge is still there in second. This is amazing stuff between these two. Down the drop. Into the left-hander. Hold on to it. Bruce Siemens up to the bus stop. John Langridge knows how to keep this working round the outside. But Sam Smith is wise to it. He's just slowing Langridge's pace just that much. Into the final turn. Back onto the main straight again. And into turn 1. Try again, John. This is going to be a very interesting battle between these two. And Will Blackwell Chambers is in the box seat here. He's in 3rd position, just watching it all unfold. Here we go again. Dives for the inside. This time, Langridge with plenty of confidence, and he's there. But can he shut the door on the exit? Sam Smith's got him straight back for the undercut. Side by side to Church. Surely Langridge has got to yield. There's not a lot he can do. Smith makes him go defensive, but Langridge has got another run at him. Blackwell Chambers is just sat back watching and loving it all. Langridge and Smith, side by side. Blackwell Chambers coming in for a run as well. Blackwell Chambers keeps the momentum going. Up towards Rocket. Hang on in there, guys. This is going to get messy if we don't sort this out soon. And Langridge dives for the inside, keeps the place on Blackwell Chambers. Now goes for the move on Smith. Blackwell Chambers up the inside of Langridge. Smith holds the lead. Langridge second. Blackwell Chambers is going to get the move. No, he's not, because Langridge is going to cut across, but he's going to drift out wide. Blackwell Chambers is still to his right. Sam Smith's trying to scarper away. Fantastic. Nail-biting stuff in the Mazda MX-5 Championship yet again at Toy Crease. Superb. And it's As You Were, but the duel is like something out of a Three Musketeers novel. Alexandre Dumas himself couldn't write this. Brilliant dueling. So Smith, Langridge, Blackwell Chambers. Here they come again. Up towards the banking. Again, Language is going to go for the inside. Again, Smith isn't going to panic. He's going to hold to the outside line, but he's got plenty of acceleration this time, so he's going to chop across. That move's not going to happen. Blackwell Chambers got a good line out of the banking, so here we go again. Let's see if this is going to turn into something one more time. Back on the power, through Church. Language has got a much smoother run this time on Sam Smith. Blackwell Chambers is still sat there in third place. Watch for John, watch for John. Is he going to go left? Is he going to go right? Is Sam going to send him right? No, John's going to commit to the left on the inside. This could be the move. Smith keeps it round the outside. Language remains. Blackwell Chambers dives for the inside line. Language is going to keep the car pointed around the outside. Blackwell Chambers is going to get a squiggle out of the turn. Language commits and gets second place back again. Still, this is incredibly close to call between these three. I'm not going to have any vocal cords left at the end of this one. Down the inside. Here we go. Language's signature move in Siemens. He's going to hold it around the outside of bus stop. Smith will defend, but watch. Oh, Language on the grass, but he's still committed. He's kept the power in. Smith round the outside. Language still there to the inside. They rub doors. Blackwell Chambers is still there for third, but Language is going to tuck in for the inside line of turn one. Smith will hold it right round the outside. And Language tucks back in. Oh, this battle is just going to keep going on and on and on. Into the banking again. And still, these three put on a spectacular song and dance for us here at Anglesey. This is superb. Can we have this race going for another hour, please? I just wanted to keep on going. I don't want them to settle it. I just wanted to keep on racing lap after lap after lap. We're looking at how much time we've got left. This has got to sort itself out. So, whoa, Paul Tucker in the banking. Oh, and who's he clipped? Now, I'm not sure who just about got away with that one, but that was a very close call. I think that might have been Paul Bateman, actually, just about getting away. Well, I could be wrong on that one, but Paul Tucker, very lucky to get away with just a little love tap there from his opposition. Scott Leach, Simon Orange, Sebastian Fisher, Clive Poles and Chris Stapleton. Nice five drivers here, battling away for position. What a quintessential pair of racing drivers. Up at the front, though, of this little tussle. Leach shutting the door on Orange. Fisher to the inside line, trying to get his way through on the inside of Orange. To his left, on the outside line, though, is Clive Poles. So they're squabbling away for position. You don't have to be leading the race to be in a great squabble, as Fisher snakes out of the hairpin, and that's enough for Poles to overtake him and get through. Leach gets to the inside of Simon Orange, hangs onto the place. Clive Poles has got a good run now on Orange. Orange is still there to the inside of Leach. They're going to tussle, they bang wheels, and through goes Simon Orange. Leach is going to keep the car stopped on the apex for Siemens as they dive into the bus stop. Five of them into one bit of apex, surely isn't going to come off well. But Orange is through. Then it is Poles, then it is Leach. Round the outside of Fisher, that is the 27 of Chris Stapleton. Somehow they have gone through without taking each other off the racetrack. If ever you wanted a perfect advert for what British motorsport racing in the British Racing Sports Car Club can be like, it's this, as Scott Leach overshoots. And oh dear, that's a bit of a bouncy bucking Bronco he's on there. Leach rejoins at the back of the queue. But that's an ignominious moment there for Scott Leach as he joins the Banking Gone Too Far club. So Orange, Poles, Stapleton and Sebastian Fisher up the back straight. Wait for me, says Scott Leach. Too late, mate. You had your chance. Up to the braking zone for Rocket once again, and Sebastian Fisher has got a really good run on Chris Stapleton, but he has to back out of it in the end, although Stapleton overshoots. Now, hang on a second. I was just going to say, is Language and Blackwell Chambers on their own. I didn't see Smith just in front of them, so it looks like they've finally sorted out their differences. And Smith is going to run in front of Language and Blackwell Chambers for the time being. Well, thank goodness for that. I thought that was going to end messily, to be fair, between those three, but they've had an amazing squabble. Language hasn't given up, neither has Blackwell Chambers. Sam Smith, at exactly the right moment, seems to have got himself a nice bitty wit of a gap. So they come up through the left-hander, up towards, through the right-hander, sorry, up towards Peel. And it's going to be an absolutely fantastic run from the drivers as they continue to squabble away. So there is Sam Smith running out in front in the 36, having an absolutely terrific run. Langridge and Blackwell Chambers still in behind in second and third. And it's a fantastic run. So Sam Smith still controlling the pace out in front. Second position, Langridge. Third position is still Blackwell Chambers, having an absolutely amazing run as they go into the bus stop one more time. This is going to be a really interesting run as they battle away for position in through the final turn. Now Sam Smith is running out of time here, as is John Langridge to overhaul him as we go into the last lap. The weather still very bad indeed, but Sam Smith only has one more lap of the Anglesey circuit to go before he completes an absolutely fantastic hat-trick. The first race, he had to deal with John Langridge all the way throughout. Second race was a bit of a rout, to be honest, because on that first lap, several drivers dropped back. They went all over the place, and Sam Smith had it all to himself. In this race, he's really had to dig deep and find something pretty special to keep Langridge and Blackwell Chambers at bay, because they've really delivered the goods in this race. They've been absolutely sensational, on fire all through this race, and any one of these three could have won it. All three of them deserve to win it, but Sam Smith is going to be the one if he just keeps it together for this last lap. Langridge is still going to give him one last run in the hope that Sam Smith overshoots, but that's not Sam Smith's way. He's a smooth driver. He's not going to make a mistake that he doesn't have to. And 3 victories at this point in the season is essential to Sam Smith's championship campaign. He really wanted to get a hat-trick of victories here at Anglesey, and he's going to walk away from Wales a very, very happy man indeed as they drop down the crest for the last time, up towards Siemens, in through the left-hander. Langridge is still trying, just in case Smith makes a mistake. He goes very deep into the bus stop, but it's fine and dandy as Sam Smith, pressured by John Langridge and Will Blackwell Chambers all the way in the third race, is going to make it a hat-trick. Sam Smith punches the air with delight. 3 wins out of 3 on the Anglesey Coastal circuit, and championship-wise, that is huge. Brian Trott in 4th place, just missing out on the podium. But it's Sam Smith who gets 3 out of 3 from John Langridge in 2nd and Blackwell Chambers 3rd. Brian Trott 4th. A brilliant run from Teddy Clark in 5th. From Allwood, Bessel, Ben Hansey fighting well ahead of Burge and Cannon in a great 10th place. Jason Greatrex, Paul Bateman, Paul Tucker and Andrew McGregor. Then Marcus Bailey in front of Clive Poles, Orange, Fisher et al. All 22 drivers came home after a thrilling encounter and an absolutely brilliant hat-trick from Sam Smith. Fastest lap as well, just under 1 minute 30.
John, if we were to look at the result sheets this weekend, we'd see 3 second places, but that really isn't the story of the weekend, or of really the last 2 of those races in tough conditions that we've had today.
Yeah, the second race was getting iffy by the end, and I obviously dropped back and then came back forwards. That race was wet all the way through, and it was a tough battle. You know, those boys, they know how to race, and it's new for me to run up with these guys. To be honest with you, even though I've been doing the championship a little while, to run up the front consistently with these guys, you know, you learn a lot.
Well, congratulations on your 3rd place. Just momentum now and keeping the podiums and trying to keep Sam behind you.
I've got enough points now that I don't actually need to win. I think as much as Sam winning every time does make it harder for me, I just need to keep finishing in the top 3 or 4, and I think we've still maybe got a chance with the championship. But no, it's got tough this end of the season. It's got very tricky.